Hey, what's up, YouTube? Thanks for joining me here at Pay to Trade. So today I'm going to be going over zones. Or I'm going to show you how to draw out some zones. I'm going to show you how I use them to structure my trades. So if you'd like to see some more videos like this, where I'm kind of showing you some strategies and like the tools that I use, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Okay, so this is where I primarily chart out everything. I use Thinkorswim. I used to use TradingView, but TradingView wasn't as consistent with the alerts. It seemed like I was maybe losing half the alerts. Like I wasn't getting alerted on time, or sometimes I just swear they didn't even come through. And I had it set up to send me emails and text. And so there was always some kind of an issue or delay. Thinkorswim, though, has always been on top of it. So it's been very reliable. And so because of that, I just kind of went back to Thinkorswim. But honestly, TradingView is a little bit easier to chart out on. It's nicer. And the history, the data history is more accessible. It's easier to access because in here you're just limited with Thinkorswim, but it still works. And so you can see I have these little zones mapped out. These are these gray boxes that you see. And how I use them to structure trades is basically, I'm looking for support, or resistance. You're going to expect a lot of buying and selling happening in these zones. So depending on what direction we're going, so let's say we're going up. So if we're going up into a zone, we're looking for some resistance, right? So we're looking for sellers. So there's going to be some sellers there, and we might reject out. So in this case, this candle started down here, pushed all the way up, and then it rejected way out of there, back into here. So from this area here, from one zone up to the other zone. So that was, it sold off. And then as we pushed back up, we got real close to the bottom of the zone. So you'd be looking for some rejection again, and we got rejected. Here we go. So going up into it, you would have been tightening up your stop loss if you're doing a trail. But as we push up, we made it through the zone. But if we went to a smaller time frame, I'm sure you can see some type of maybe smaller rejection, mini pullbacks or something before we got into the zone. By the way, it just kind of helps you have an idea of where you're going to be running into some buyers or sellers. All right. And so that's that. But you can see that across the board, wicking towards the tops of the zones, bottoms of the zone, that kind of confirms all these zones and possible positions that you could be taking. All right. So let me go ahead and get into TradingView. All right. And so let me show you what I'm looking for when you're drawing out a zone. So like I just said earlier, as far as looking for things along the top and bottom, it's confirmation, and it helps you draw out the zone. So if this is on the 4 hour, as we're looking into that, we're wicking towards this here. So we're finding some resistance. And so this wicked into there, this wicked down to here, this candle wicked up to here. These candles closed right along the top here. So that's kind of what I based this zone off of. And then as we push up here, you can see we're wicking in towards the bottom of the zone here. And then this one's we're wicking towards the bottom from within the zone. So again, all this is kind of helping you draw these lines, and then the box within where you're going to see, a lot of struggle and a lot of back and forth. So that's what you're looking for. So there's that. And then same thing here. We left this area here pushed up, and then here we go. We're finding some resistance. So we see some wicks, and then we push up, and then we're wicking towards the top. We wick down towards the bottom. We come out, and we push back up, and we wick right up to the bottom of the zone. So all these points are confirmation of levels that you want to watch out for, and then you just draw a box to contain the levels. That's basically it. So my zones may not be perfect, but they still help me structure my trades. And honestly, since I started using them, my win percentage has definitely increased. So I am more accurate, especially if I'm basing trades off the zones. And if I didn't have these zones drawn out, and let's say, we got this bullish move up, and I'm like, hey, I want to buy it right here. Look at that. It's a bull flag. Let's buy right into that. I'm expecting a big move, and I see a little bit of resistance, and then boom, we sell off, and it hits my stop loss over and over and over, not knowing that this was something to watch out for. You know, it's it's helpful, or in this case here, let's say, so we sold right out of the zone. This is a great play because typically when you sell out of a zone, like just across the board with stocks, they retest areas, right? So we sold out of the zone, we try to push back up. So if we know that we're selling off, right now we're downtrending, then if you're looking for a short position, grabbing a short towards the bottom of the zone is going to give you probably your best bet. It's a very low risk entry. The top of this candle here is, let's see, it's 149.83. The zone is 149.70. So that's a 13-point stop loss. If we went to a different time frame, let's see, so that's the 4 hour. Let's go to the 15, and we'll see what that one looks like. Okay, so that's right here. So you can see we sold off and we pushed. So we sold down through the zone, and then as we pushed back up, so you have this wick here. The wick at the top is what is it, 149.67. The wick of this one here is 149.70. So your zone is mapped out at 149.65. So you would have been really close. So you could have had an entry at 149.65. 10-point stop loss is my general stop loss. So that would have been within my risk parameters. Or if you base it off of the most recent candle, this one here, you can go off the top of that wick, and that was 149.67. And so maybe you put a 5-point stop loss above that. So that puts you at 149.72. So your entry is 149.67. Your exit is 149.72 if you get stopped out. And then your profit target, if you're shooting for something small, you can grab a quick 10, 15 points. But as you see, this candle came down to 149.23. So that was a good 40-point move. Now, had you held it, it's a much bigger move. You come down to this key level of price right here at 148.59. So that's like a 100-point move. So being able to take moves like that is doable because of the zones are showing you where you're going to find these bigger moves. But even if you're looking for scalps, you're more likely to succeed if you're buying around these points of conflict. So you're going to see some type of rejection. And even if you're looking for 5 or 10 points, that's where you'll get a quick scalp, and you will have higher accuracy doing that. So anyways, so you can see all the validation towards the bottom of this zone here. All right. So again, it's not perfect, but it still gives you some good structure. So going back to the 4 hour, we'll look at another area, but it's all the same. You're just looking for confirmation from top and bottom. So we'll look at this bottom area here. Okay, so you can see there's confirmation down here. We've came up into this bottom area here, and we're rejecting. All right, and then once we get in, we're wicking down towards the bottom. Once we sell out of it, push back up, we're rejecting the bottom of it. So again, confirming from within the zone, from underneath the zone, and then as we're in the zone here, we reject the top of the zone from within and sell off, and then we push back up off the bottom of the zone from within and push up. So confirming the top, confirming the bottom over and over and over again. And when it comes out, pushes up, we're finding more resistance. So, I mean, that's what it is. So you're looking for buyers and sellers. We're pushing up into it. We're finding sellers. And as we are in here, there's buyers keeping it afloat, but there's still sellers keeping it within the zone and down towards the bottom until the buyers, take over. And then boom, we're trying to push out of the zone and then up to the next. But you can see all the confirmations right along the top and bottom. That's what's painting out this zone for you. So to give you another example, we're going to go ahead and just draw one out real quick. All right. And so this one's a lot easier to see than some of those, especially because this is based on a much bigger move. So as you see this here, we're pushing up, but we got to this area here and we had like a vertical push, right? So straight up, straight down. So a lot of sellers, big rejection. So we consolidated and then we pushed back up here, and again finding some more rejection, and then another sell off, a good sell off. So you're looking for something around here. So that should be a line that you're thinking of, and then that down here another line that you're thinking of, and then now we're matching these up across the board. So if we look to the right, we can see this line here is matching up right along right here, and again right over here. So that's the bottom of our zone, right? So let's get this rectangle. So we're going to start drawing right there. All right, and then now you can see it matches up along the bottom here, top of this. All right, bottom here. There we go. And then as far as the top of it, well, so we can look at this, and so we're sort of finding that we sell off at this point. And this here is just a little bit lower, but let's see, we want this confirmed from the top as well. And so here we go. We have a wick down to there. All right, and I think that gives you a good picture. So if we look at that, and let's zoom in a little bit. So we wicked up right towards the top. There we go. And from here, we wicked right down towards the top of it, but from, above. So confirmation. And then in here, we wicked down all the way to the bottom of the zone from within. So confirmation. And here, we pushed up and we wicked up towards the bottom from underneath, and that's confirmation of the bottom of the zone. All right. And so I think we can drop this one down a little bit, because you see this green candle, the wick drops a little bit lower. That aligns with this here. So let's match that up. There, that's pretty close. Okay, so that's a lot better. All right, and so now we can go ahead and just test this out. So if you're trying zones, you're trying to draw them, you want to test out to see if it makes sense, well, make sure you're starting on the left, and then just start to look right. Okay, so let's see if we did good. Here we go. Let's see how things react. So we have action. We come down in here, we have confirmation from these candles here. It's pretty good. We have a bull flag. We pushed up and then we pulled back, bull flag towards the bottom, finding some support along the bottom of the zone, pushed out of the zone, and we see a lot of wicks coming down towards the top of the zone from above. Again, confirming the top of the zone is valid. And then we sold through it, pushed back up, and here we go, confirm the bottom of the zone from underneath. So rejection. All right, got into here, bull flagged again towards the bottom, found some support, sold out of this, came back down, retested the top from above. So a lot of confirmation. And then going further over here, you see this wick right up into that. So, I think I've shown you enough examples where it's confirming this area. So it shows you it's something you want to watch out for. So if we had like a steep sell-off, let it do its thing, but be mindful of what it's coming down into. And so if you haven't entered a position yet, this could be a good spot to go ahead and try to take a quick bounce, get a scalp, or you might see a turnaround because we've been down in this area so much, and we've seen how we've bounced off the bottom here. So we might be looking for some support right along the bottom of that zone, and you could take it for a big move up. But again, with futures, you don't even need a big move to make great money. 10, 20 points a day. That's actually really good, especially if you're trading multiple accounts at once. Just taking some quick scalps, you'd be in really good shape. Anyhow, but that's it. So let me know what you guys thought about me drawing out the zones, if it makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions on it. Maybe you already use it to trade. Maybe you do yours a little bit different. I'd love to hear about it. But as always, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Definitely appreciate you guys watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. I really hope I'm being helpful to you in some fashion. Um, but I definitely love to hear about it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.